business person, billionaire, and he's been around on that billionaire list for many, many years, founder of Microsoft. And here we have his chart open right here. So what we're going to look at first is his Rashi chart. Okay. His moon, which is the Lord of Cancer, is placed in the 10th house. So it's pretty strong, right? Anything that's in the 10th house gives results. So he's able to get all his emotional needs met, no matter what, right? Either, even if his emotional needs are not very noble, you can say, like he's not a enlightened master or something, he still has emotional needs. They're going to fulfill because the ascendant lord is in the 10th house, and any planet in the 10th house gives. And since it's in conjunct the 11th, his path in life that he had to walk on, what he was destined on, is a path to create long-term wealth, which kind of grows, right? Once it starts, it just keeps growing. It's conjunct the 11th. And he's a pioneer because Aries is the sign of being a pioneer, at being the first at something. So he's known to be a pioneer in the world of software and making it really big and accessible. Even if he took it from other places, he bought patents, or in whatever ways he managed to do that. Point is, he did do that, and it can see right here. And his path was to make money while becoming a pioneer, right? Now we're going to look at the Lord of the Moon itself. So Lord of Moon is Mars, okay? Mars is in the 4th, and his path of making long-term income is through being creative, is to do what he really enjoys genuinely. What he really enjoys is interacting with things and people. So in this case, software. He was a coder. He could code things himself, program things himself, and that's Libra. Anything in Libra, they enjoy, um, interacting with the intangible. Anything is not them. So it's, he's not a muscle man, or he's not like a athlete. Then let's say if it was a muscle man or athlete, then you'd have this Mars in Aries maybe, but it's in Libra, the sign of other things, and it's conjunct the 5th. So the other things that he did it through, he built his wealth, pioneered his wealth through, were being just doing things that he really enjoys, which is computers and software. And it's that Mars in Libra right here. And we see that this Mars is being aspected by the moon. So it's being helped here. And it's being also aspected by Mercury, which is hurting Mars. So how this Mars helps the moon is through, they are fighting. Mars is fighting for a purpose, and fighting for a purpose in this case, things that he really enjoys, which is like software, coding, and these other intangible things that he really likes to do. Probably has a lot of knowledge about different topics, right? These are things that get his emotional needs met, right? So his Mars is being aspected by Moon, which is good, and it's being hurt by Mercury. So he can sometimes be, he can overthink things and not do it, even when he finds it purposeful. However, Bill Gates, if he did not have a inter-house interchange yoga right here, he wouldn't be so successful, because this Mars is being hurt by Mercury to a higher extent than it is being helped by the moon. Sorry, right here. It's being hurt by Mercury to 60 points and being helped by moon to 58.8, right? So now what we look at here is this yoga. Mars and Mercury are in Libra. The Lord of Libra is Venus, which is in Scorpio. And the Lord of Scorpio is Mars, which is in the 5th. So we have a Lord interchange between the fifth and the fourth and the fifth house, right? Venus and Mars interchange. So all these planets benefit. The fourth and fifth house are these great benefic houses that give results fast. They don't slow things down, they don't delay things, and they just give very easily without taking anything away. So house interchange yoga helps all these planets become successful, especially if any of these planets are in good dignity. So let's check out the dignities here. Sun is in a great friend dignity in Scorpio. That's good. Mercury is in a great friend dignity in Libra, right? That's good. Now look at the other planets and their lords, right? So I bet you everything ends right here. That's why the chart is so um, successful in so many different ways. And Jupiter is in good dignity, right? That's good. So Jupiter in Leo means that the person, in whatever they feel energized and motivated by, where they want their life to express, that becomes their purpose. Purpose is not knowledge or anything, unless it matches with the life they want for themselves. So Bill Gates probably really worked to want the life that he felt energized and motivated to have. The Lord of Jupiter is in the fifth, and it's involved in the house interchange, right? So this makes this strong. The Lord of Ketu is in the house interchange. The Lord of Moon is in the house interchange, and the Lord of um, Rahu is also in this house interchange. So overall, this chart is going to work out really well because there's an exchange between Mars and Venus, and these things are, even though they have some afflictions, like Venus is afflicted by Saturn, also being helped by Saturn, but also afflicted by Saturn due to conjunction. But Saturn is a friend, so it's being helped. And the Sun is hurting Venus. However, this mutual house lord exchange, this is what makes a chart great. This is an easy way to judge if someone is successful in every aspect of their life. So one thing, you want to look at the final dispositor. So let's say the final dispositor of this chart was an exalted Jupiter. The lord of this would have been here, and the lord of that would have been here, and the lord of that would have been here, etc., etc. You go to the final lord is really strong in a easy house, then life is going to happen much more easily without struggle. Similarly, a mutual house lord exchange between the 1, 4, 7, 10, and the 5th and 9th, life is going to unfold easily. Now, because Bill Gates is known to be wealthy, let's look at some indications of wealth. So first off the boat, we have a Jupiter here, which is pretty strong in Leo. It's in the second. So the person has a natural orientation to grab all the chances that he gets to build a grander, more fulfilling life, right? He has a natural orientation to do that, doesn't miss opportunities so easily. And especially, person really likes to expand in things that he wants to build his life in. Okay. That's a good sign for wealth. And also Jupiter is in great friend. That's a good sign. Now we can look at the divisional chart number 4 and divisional chart number 16, and also divisional chart number 2 for indications of wealth. So the planet of wealth, as everyone knows, Jupiter. And what do we have here? Jupiter in the 5th, a house that gives easily without taking anything back. And its lord is also in the 5th. So Jupiter is weak in Taurus, but Venus isn't also Taurus, so it's being helped out. So it's fine. It's not bad at all. Similarly here in the Hora, which is a chart of having enough resources to take care of your responsibilities, you see this similar thing. Jupiter is in Aquarius, and the Lord is in good dignity, conjunct its Lord Venus, which is an own sign in the 5th house. So he has enough resources to be able to manage his wealth pretty well. sorry, enough resources to manage his responsibilities pretty well. So money to pay bills and etc. And whatever responsibilities he took, which is a decent amount, as we can see right here, was planted in the second house. He's able to manage it pretty well. So he would have good cash flow, you can say, right? Sun is strong and Venus is strong. And yeah. Yeah, so the final dispositor is this Venus in own sign. Other thing we look at for wealth is the Chaturamsha. So these are the luxuries we have beyond basic survival things. Again, we see Jupiter is good here. And let's look at the final dispositor. We have Mars and here and Saturn here with that Venus, which is the dispositor. And same with the Sun and Scorpio. We have Mars and Venus. So Mars is really strong in the first house. So uh, Bill Gates has a gearing in life towards his path to build a life of things that are beyond survival, essentially luxury things. He's really focused on that. So he's focused on that wealth building, very strongly focused, and he's good at that. He knows where to expend energy for that and where to not expend energy on that. His path is easy, and he knows what his emotional needs are, and he's able to get those met when it comes to luxury. So probably lives a luxurious life, and he's able to work in order to be able to get whatever he needs, and he's able to receive well, right? Not afraid to receive. And final dispositor is that Venus and Taurus. So he's making good decisions in order to accomplish those things, because Venus rules good decision making, and good Venus will make the person make good decisions. So both these houses, sorry, both these charts are pretty good for that. So now looking at some other things that will make Bill Gates wealthy. So let's say this is a good mutual house yoga right here between the fourth and the fifth, and it rules all these planets. It helps all these planets out in a very direct way. So the things that Bill Gates communicates and explores about, they work out for him. Things he expends his energy, they work out for him. Things that he uh, is motivated and energized to do, the sun, they work out easily for him. The decisions that he takes work out easily for him. And the things that he doesn't want to do, uh, that he doesn't do, they also work out because of this yoga. Now, obviously, there's some things that are interesting for if you want to go more advanced. There's shame here. So every time there's um in the fifth house, there's a planet with a malefic, it's shamed. So his Venus is shamed by Saturn, his sun is shamed by Saturn. His Saturn is shamed by the sun, his Venus is shamed by the sun. So all three planets are shamed. So because he has planets in the fifth house, the things that he wants to do, a lot of the things that he wants to do are very much of a nature that he just wants to do them, period. Why he wants to do them uh, is a logical, rational. It doesn't matter. It's just he's inspired to do them and he enjoys doing them. So he's going to do them. So yeah, but because these things are of such a personal nature, they can often be shamed by society, right? Because so Bill Gates gets a lot of shame for just the things he does. For example, he does things with like he's buying farmland, a lot of farmland, and he's trying to make money off vaccines and GMO and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? And we can sort of dive deeper into the chart. So even though his life is easy, we can look at some sort of spiritual aspects, if this is really a spiritual chart or not. And the Sun Saturn makes it a little bit difficult to be a spiritual chart, because What that means is that the things he does, uh, or the things that he cannot help doing things for social, material, and financial security. Even if he has them, he feels his life path is to gain more and more and more, and maybe not stop anywhere. So the decisions he's making, the things he's doing, uh, is in order to gain continual financial, social, material security, even when he probably could have stopped. And that's because that Saturn restricting the sun and sun restricting Saturn, that's just one thing. Other thing that gives him good wealth is that he has these wealth indications. Jupiter, Lord, is in this neutral yoga, and Jupiter is not aspected by any malefics. It's getting helped by the sun. It's getting aspected by Venus to a very small degree, not enough to bother. So his wealth that Jupiter brings doesn't get affected by distractions like wasting money and doing useless, pleasurable things. And essentially, the things that he does expend his money on are useful things that probably help him make more money, right? So, like, he might be wasting money from our angle, from our perspective, just because he has so much, but from his perspective, he's really not, compared to someone who does actually waste money, because that spending is not helping him or her make more money. So this is because there's no negative aspect by Mercury or Venus, just a small bit, not enough to uh, affect it badly, right? Because it's being helped by the sun. Um, yeah, that's another thing. Bill Gates is probably a out of the box thinker, and he likes to do big things. And sometimes he likes to do inappropriate things, you could say, perhaps, uh, and like likes to follow strict plan, because that Ketu is in Gemini. Gemini is planning oriented, and planning has to do with people and social things. So he's likes people, communication, society, and likes to do his business and all that stuff. Uh, because even Microsoft was like a thing of uh, connecting people, right? Like people making people more efficient, all that stuff. Uh, like he wasn't just going to the gym and becoming a bodybuilder, right? It had something to do with people and business and sales and marketing, product design, all that stuff, engineering. So he sort of is like outside box thinker because of the Ketu in the 12th, and he likes to really go big and aim big because he wants a really fulfilling sort of experience, like the ultimate experience that he could have because of Ketu in the 6th. And in order to gain that, he would have to do work in the physical world. So grinding work, hard work, helping people, helping society, and really doing something noble and good, which shows his charitable side that Rahu and Sagittarius would push him towards being good and doing charity and helping people. And since Jupiter and its Lord are strong, uh, that's really helping him to do that effectively, right? It's like he's giving away enough money. Maybe we could say he should give more, but he's still giving, I believe, lots of money away. Uh, this is charitable nature, which is Rahu and Sagittarius, and the 6th is pushing him to do and work for people, work for society, do something for society, so he feels good about his decisions that are offbeat, that people might not necessarily like. So it's balancing them out. And his Navamsha, he's a good Jupiter. Um, Saturn with Saturn, Mars, Venus. Uh, Everything's pretty good here. Looking like a pretty strong Navamsha. So he's pretty focused on his path of knowledge, career, living a life really on his terms, but also helping people out, um, and being responsible for a lot of different things, handling a lot of different projects. He's pretty focused on that path, and he's doing pretty well on that path and doesn't like to uh, waste that opportunity. He's not distracted within the past. It's not like he decides to do something today, but he's doing something else tomorrow because it's more fun. He's not doing that at all because of the strong Navamsha and the strong chart right here. And we can also look at the Shamsha right here to see a little bit more um, stuff right here. Okay, so obviously all these planets are doing really well. 3, 4, 5 planets because of the mutual house lord exchange. And one of these planets is really strong in the Shamsha, which is the chart of the uh rewards of the great deeds that we do, great fruits we get of the deeds that we do. So, and it's in a Saturn sign. So Saturn is really being helped by Mars here. And so he's a hardworking person for sure. Um, right. And yeah, so there's a confluence here between these two Marses. Um, yeah, he's not like known for he's not like a popular guy in the sense like he's known to have specific skills. Like he can make friends easily, or he can, he's really helpful to like just about anyone on the street or anything. But he probably is a good fighter. He's known to be a good fighter when he needs to fight, the right kind of aggression, uh, when he needs to put the right kind of aggression into things at the right time, he's able to do that. Okay, thank you.